in a small, isolated village surrounded by a dense forest. There lived a young woman named Lian. She lived alone in an old cottage she inherited from her grandmother, a woman the villagers once feared and whispered was a witch. From childhood, Lian was treated as an outcast. People claimed they heard strange whispers whenever they passed her home, and sometimes they swore they saw flickering lights dancing behind her windows at night. But Lian carried a dark secret every night. She heard voices calling her name from deep within the forest. At first she ignored them, but as the years passed, the voices grew louder. Shadows began to move between the trees, and faces appeared in the corners of her room, vanishing whenever she turned to look. One stormy night, while she was lying in bed, a strange knock echoed through the cottage. When she opened the door, a little girl stood trembling in the rain, her clothes torn, her eyes completely black. "Please," the child whispered, "they're chasing me." Lian, filled with a mix of fear and pity, let the girl inside. The child sat by the fire, but the room grew unnaturally cold and the flames dimmed, even though the logs were burning. Lian turned to ask the girl what was happening, but the child's mouth stretched into an unnatural grin, and her voice layered into dozens of voices speaking at once. "We've been waiting for you." The windows shook violently, the walls groaned, and the floorboards cracked beneath Lian's feet. She tried to flee, but the door slammed shut. The entire cottage seemed all of its walls pulsing, breathing in and out. Desperate, Lian turned to the old mirror her grandmother had always warned her never to look into at night. In it, she saw her own reflection. But it wasn't her. Her skin was pale, her eyes were black, and a sinister grin stretched across her face. A hand reached out from the mirror, grabbed her wrist, and dragged her into the darkness. The next morning, villagers found the cottage destroyed from the inside, with no trace of Lian or the mysterious child. The mirror was shattered into hundreds of pieces, but anyone who stared too long into the shards swore they could see a smiling girl watching them from another world. Since that day, villagers have heard faint knocks on their doors at night, followed by a childlike whisper, "May I come in?"